So I got my plugs, my wires, and a little bit of anti-seize. I already gapped the plugs to 0.044, which is what the D21 calls for. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take every plug out. I'm gonna leave the wires in until I put the new plugs in. The tools you need for this job are just a ratchet. I have this extension just in case I need it, and then a 5/8 spark plug socket. This one is magnetic, so it makes it a little easier to pull them out. And I don't even think I need the extension, so So first thing I'm gonna do is put some of this anti-seize on the threads here. That just will prevent it from getting stuck and being hard to take out in the future. So you don't want to do too much, but you do want to do enough. And you just want to get it on the threads only. So I'm gonna put this little cardboard thing back on and put it back in the box until I'm ready to get to it. I'm just gonna repeat that process for all 4 plugs. Make sure you have a paper towel or something that you can wipe off like any excess. Like on that top there, you don't really need that anti-seize. For some reason it's a little watery, so I'm just gonna knead it a little bit. Just like that. That definitely helped with the wateriness. With that step done, just wipe off your hands or change your gloves, but these gloves are still good, so I'm not changing the gloves. And wipe off all that excess grease that got on them. Put the lid back on and put it in a safe space. Save it for next time. Okay, next thing, use this little gap tool here to check your gap. I know I pre-gapped. Mine are already gapped. They didn't come pre-gapped to 0.44, so I pre-gapped them. So you just take it and just slide it over, and that's 0.044. You just want to check to make sure, because you don't want the wrong gap in your plugs here. Just like with anything with a vehicle, double checking things is always good. Now that you have that, just put your gap tools in your safe. Alright, and with that, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop off each plug one at a time, like that. And look at that. I mean, that's pretty gnarly, man. That's pretty old and used. So if your D21 has one of these little decorative covers, just take that off. So see, there's the first plug. What I think I'm gonna do, so I don't mix anything up, is I'm gonna do one plug and one plug and one spark plug at a time. These are the plugs I'm replacing them with. Put a little color in here. What you want to do is find the one that is the same length as the one you're taking off. not that one. That one is, that goes over here. Just want to compare the length. It's a little longer, but I think it's fine. That's the longest. That's the longest plug, I believe. Going to the furthest spark plug back here. So what I'm going to do is pop it off the distributor. Just lay it to the side. I'm just checking this here for cracks or anywhere. I'm not changing this distributor if I have any like power loss or no. I'll know if I have to change it. I'm gonna get this little detail brush and just kind of take some of this dust off. Double check that this is the right plug. And it is. Oh, it says number 4 on it, which is cool. I don't think the distributor is marked, but number 4, makes sense. Cool. So just plug that in. And you just want to make sure that this piece, the metal piece here, sits in. There that should be good. Then click that there and just hang it to the side here. You can see the plug there. Make sure it's on there, and I don't know when this truck had these spark plugs changed out, so but it just seems like it's coming out pretty. This one at least, it's coming out pretty easy. Seeing that socket has like a little swivel on it, so you have a little bit of flexibility with that. You could get to a point where you could turn it by hand. At this point, I just move the socket, the ratchet, and then it doesn't look too bad. I mean, that gap looks kind of funky though. That could be where I was losing some power maybe. It's a little felled out, but it's not. It did fall when I took it out, so there's a little bit of dirt, but yeah, all in all, it don't look too bad. It's a Bosch Platinum. I was in there, so I'm just gonna throw these in this box. And get your new prepared plug. With this one, you can actually just start it You just want to tighten it by hand until you can't turn anymore. That's where you stop. And then you're gonna do, I believe, a quarter turn with the ratchet. You don't want them in there too tight, but you don't want them in there loose. The next plug, pop that one out. Came out good. That one's routed under. This one, I'm not plugging it in yet, but I am gonna route it over there and put it there. This one, it was routed underneath. So you want to just pull that through. Find that. Pop it off. This should be number 3. Pretty close to the same length. So then you want to get that detail brush real quick and just get that dust off that you're trying to get while the plug is plugged in. Plugged in. Just want to route that the same way it came out, and that's good right there. Okay, and this one's going to come out a lot easier, so I don't even need to ratchet. I just needed to break it. Very interesting. So this was a Iridium NGK that was in there. Different type of spark plug. So yeah, this is what it looks like. It don't look too bad, but it's a different type of spark plug, which is strange. Why do they have that like that? It's all good, because I just have a new NGKs that are, they're platinum. And I don't know, I guess the platinums just don't last as long as the Iridium. So now this plug also routes under. This is number 2, which is pulled out. All right, same thing with the third plug. You're gonna get that in there, break it. So the first was a Bosch Platinum. The second was an NGK Iridium. I wonder what the third one's gonna be. So this looks like, this is Bosch Platinum. Weird. Same with the first 2. I just get it in the hole. And started a little bit by hand. You just want to get it on that first thread. Right, and I can't turn that anymore, so that means move on to the next one, which is the last plug, the last wire, which is number 1. Just want to plug it in. Make sure it seats in there good. Right here. Do the same thing here. Break it. This one's not coming out as easy. I'm sure having that mismatched plug in there was probably causing a misfire. And this truck does not have a check engine light, because back in the day they didn't think you needed them on something like this. I don't know. I'm not sure why. This here is also Bosch Platinum, but I mean, the gap on this one looks a little off too. So not only were the gaps off, I don't know what the gap is on this iridium here, but I don't know. I'm guessing that was contributing to my loss of power while going up hills. And whatnot, but because this truck, it was driving pretty decent, but then once I get to a hill, I started losing power. I have to downshift to third when I'm in fourth. If I was going like 45, I would lose speed really quick in fourth gear, so I have to downshift to third just to keep the speed up to, you know, speed limit. If I'm going like 45, I would drop down to 35 pretty quick in fourth. Now that all the spark plugs are in, all the wires are on except this one, which I'm gonna pop that off. And for some reason, some way, somehow, I paused the video, but what I was saying is you want to tighten those in and get them nice and tight, but not too tight where you're over torquing them. See if I can get them. You see, they're all in there. They're all tight. I got all the wires on. That's 5. I got it in the correct firing garter, which is a 4213, I believe. So yeah, next step is to plug in them wires one at a time, obviously. Make sure it's seated. 3 is here. Just want to make sure that you get everything correct, you know? You don't want anything, if you don't have it in the correct order, you will get misfires, and then you will lose power. If you have a check engine light, which I don't know when I paused this video by accident, but I was saying that these early 90s D21s, and I'm guessing before that, didn't have check engine light. This doesn't have anywhere to route to. Again, I like to double check every single thing, make sure it's seated. Seems like everything is. Clean up all your trash, you get all your old wires, toss everything in this wire box.
Looks like it's pretty smooth. Yep. Cables, wires are good. Everything looks good. And that will conclude this one. I'm going to take it for a test drive real quick. Maybe I'll make a video of test driving. Cool.